Okay, so we are live now. Okay, so today I was thinking maybe I would share how I started off with the Witcher and how it is hard for the beginners to, start off with the game. So basically, when I started playing, I thought it's a beautiful game. I got my first system that was actually powerful enough to run games that were considered top tier back then. GTA 5 and Witcher 3 basically, and I got the first two games that I had on that system. They were GTA 5 and Witcher 3. So first of course, as any new gamer would do, start off with GTA 5, and I enjoyed playing it, and it was a completely different experience with a very linear storyline, and basically my how would I say, my first introduction to higher tier gaming, or before I was playing games like Dishonored or the old Mafia 1 and 2, these kind of games. I didn't have a powerful system to play the big games. So yeah, then after playing those open world games and just being blown away by them, I stepped foot into The Witcher 3. Now the first thing that I noticed was that the mechanics are pretty complicated and overwhelming. I mean, just look at this. You have this character, then you have to select which quest you're doing. I mean, I usually get lost on whether I'm doing a side quest or whether I'm doing some, some main storyline quest. Like, I would, for example, I'll, select this one, and then I'd see that there is no marker on the minimap. It was a bit confusing for someone who who have just got into gaming, and who have played games like Skyrim, where things were pretty basic. So it was the first thing that bugged me at that time maybe. But it's a plus point. But at that time, as I was a beginner, so it bugged me a little. Then the inventory just overwhelmed. I mean, what the fuck is this? Completely overwhelming inventory, and I was like, why can't I put? Why can't I just put my food over here somewhere? And come on, these are my pockets. So, and the crafting system, completely intimidating. It was just so intimidating. For now it seems pretty easy and straightforward, but back then it was like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? So yeah, I played, and after some time, because there are a lot of videos that they make the claim that Witcher 3 is quite boring and dull and these kind of claims. So yeah, it was my first reaction when I got into the game, and yeah, well, maybe they would be. I get their point when they say that, because at that time I would say that I didn't have mature sense of absorbing the story, or I didn't have a mature enough. How would I say that? I didn't have a mature enough. I don't know, mature enough brain to comprehend the deep storytelling of The Witcher 3. But it seems just I'm dropped into a world that's dead and shit. But so I left the game, and then I started playing. I don't know, maybe Watch Dogs or something like that, something along those lines. And then
Sewed his head back on.
when I finished that, I was like, the only game left in my PC is The Witcher 3 now. So maybe I should give it a try. And then as I had nothing else to do,
We have much work to do.
I just skipped all the side quests and just went straight into the main quest. Only the main quest, nothing else. Literally nothing else, and I loved the game. I was playing it wrong. I was just completely messing it up, but I was loving. I was loving the game. I was loving the story, and but the general sense of what's going on in this world, because it doesn't tell you a lot of lore, a lot of backstory of what's been happening in the world, because it's followed by two previous entries which are very crucial to understanding the current political situation and everything that's going on over here. And even the characters that I met, they seemed to know me for some reason, and I was like, come on man, I haven't even met you yet. And you know that that sense of incompleteness, they persist when you're just a beginner into the Witcher franchise. And yeah, it persisted, and it bothered me a lot. So it just took some dedication, and I hasted through the game somehow, which I thought I was playing perfectly. Which I hasted through the games, didn't understand complete mechanics. I didn't know that I can use crossbow underwater, so I barely managed. And I completed it, and I was like, oh my god, this game is amazing.
Looking for trouble.
And well, I didn't even know that I had the expansions, Blood and Wine and Order Stones, which I had back then. I didn't play them because well, they were listed as side quest. So completely avoided them at level
We have much
20,
work to do here.
about 25 I guess. Main story was complete, and I was
Freak.
just left in awe that what a masterpiece it is. The villain, the moments of shock when he appears at the
Looking for
Isle of
trouble.
Mist. Oh my god. And the whole scenario when you find Siri. I don't think it's a spoiler now, after Witcher season, and everything that's been going on, because come on man, it's been what, 10 years now. Come on. So yeah, it's not a spoiler. So when you find Siri, and that emotional it got me. It got me the first time. I was like, come on man, I've gone through so much to be here, and I'm under leveled, and I have to grind a bit harder. So come on man. She's dead. Oh my god. And then their whole chatter, and you grasping something. I thought the game ended. I thought the game's going to end, man. Come on. It didn't. Then it started again. Okay, we started the preparations at Kaer Morhen, and I had no allies because I didn't do any of the side content. And I realized I have to do the side content too. And well, basically, I fought off the wild hunt with basically no one. And well, I thought the game ended, but it didn't. Then the final fight, moment of truth.
I
Damn,
think those plums are wreaking
Oh my
havoc on
God.
my gut.
the final battle. Oh my god. I mean, I thought 3 times that the game is going to end, but it didn't end. This he kept surprising me. I mean, the level of content in the game, even in the first few, in just the main story. If you don't do any of the side content, just the main story, the content in the main story is just overwhelming and so detailed. It's like the most beautiful piece of literature ever written, and it's just so rich. And then after some times when I realized that I've missed a lot of things, and I went to see that it had two expansions too. So I got them, and I started the game again. So between this time, it had
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
about a 4 to 5 months gap. Yeah, before between me realizing that there are other expansions too. So I played it again, and by that time I was just so into The Witcher that it was the best game I've ever played in my life. And then I started doing the side content. Then I started going to scavenger hunts. Then I started crafting. Then I got into alchemy. Then I made my first alchemy build. I mean, just a bit of alchemy in that build. So then I, basically I searched for places of power. I just thoroughly explored the world, and the sheer amount of content that I found was just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful, and every quest, every interaction in this world, is so beautifully crafted. Like when you burn a guy carrying a wagon of corpses. So basically, you find that guy later on, and he's suffering from the pox, the Catriona pox, and he basically begs you to kill him. And it's such a complete moral. How would I say it? It's such tough moral choices in this game that if you analyze them, if you just have a mature mind to absorb what the game is trying to tell you, it's a masterpiece. There has never been a game, maybe Mass Effect to some extent, yeah. It had some difficult choices of risking the existence of entire species, and this those kind of things when oh my god, when you kill Legion and he says does this unit have a soul? Oh my god, that just hit so on the point. Oh my god, yeah, Mass Effect was like. So yeah, back at Witcher 3. So the sheer amount of content that was packed
Got good news and
into
bad
this
news.
entry.
Good news first.
Just
Captain of the Nilfgaardian garrison knows where Yennefer went.
And the bad's that we have to kill the Griffin for him. What else could he want from two Witchers?
Griffin's abandoned its lair. Gotta make a lure, said it.
And how's that going?
Learned some things. The Nilfgaardians burned the woods down, killed it.
It's always this.
Got the buckthorn.
Ought to work like a charm. Powerful scent.
More like stench.
City boy. Rotting meat, manure,
City boy.
piss. Standard smells of the countryside. Remember Tretogor? Hunting that Zoogle in the trash heap? You spent half the next day bathing, scrubbing yourself.
How can I forget? You ever gonna stop bringing that up?
Fine. If everything's ready, say the word and we'll get to work.
I'm ready.
Picked one out already, other side of the strip.
Good. Meet you there.
Okay, so I was saying the sheer amount of content,
Faster.
even in the side quest, even in the contracts, not even the side quests, in the contracts. I mean, let me explain one of them for you. The contract Devil by the Well. So yeah, we did it recently in the previous video, because people were sleeping on me when I was doing
Go.
it, so I basically didn't record my audio. So it revolves around the raid that has hunted the well. You're given a contract for it.
Dad sits in the old oak tree, grew inside a marvelous feed, drinks it down in greedy sloth. Then come warn how the devil head hurts.
I cried, Hellraiser.
found a journal that says, how the events took place, how the Lord came to the manor, and whatever, basically explaining it. And when you go to that rich herbalist, and he tells you that she must have said something about the Lord's son. So it's related to the previous quest. That you do when you find Hunter Neelan, and he shows you where the Nilfgaardians were killed by the Griffin. And if you insist on him telling you what's wrong with him, he'll tell you that he had some affair with the Lord's son, and that the Lord's son hanged himself. So basically you can draw the picture that how the Lord got angry and what she said about the son, and then he hanged her from the bucket rope, and then her spirit haunts the well. So these are
Take it easy.
3 different side quests that are connected in a beautifully formed world. It's just everything is so connected, and that's also a plus point. That it's very rare.
Stream, amber waves of grain. Charming place. Perfect for an ambush.
I know how to choose them. So, ready?
Let's start. Wind's good. Bait's scent will spread quickly.
Now all we have to do is wait. Come on. We can cower in the shade of those birches.
So tell me, once we find Yennefer, what'll you do? Got your eye on a contract?
No. I'll go to Kaer Morhen.
Little early to settle in for the winter.
Snows are a way off, yes. And that's what worries me. Nilfgaard's crossed the Pontar in the east. Puts them maybe a week's march from Kaer Morhen. Speaking of winter and wintering, think you'll come this year?
Maybe. Might bring a guest.
Let's go.
Let's go give it a whirl.
Wait. Take it.
Across.
Wanted in a...
How about that?
Stop talking. Watch out!
Okay, so I was saying the biggest perk.
It's about to dive!
How quests are interconnected. Now everything to do has a positive or negative impact. So you feel like an inhabitant of what the fuck? Oh shit. Okay. So I was saying that the biggest perk is that the quests are interconnected, and when you're playing it, you feel like an inhabitant of the world. You're not
Always let your dust
not
talk.
in control of what happens, but only to a degree that you are in control. It's like real life, not all powerful game.
It's about to dive!
Okay, let me kill this shit fast. So I forgot to pick up the
Stop. Watch out! It's about to die! Damn! It's fast! Who's next? Don't let it get away!
Okay, so yeah, we're back again, I was a bit distracted. So I was saying the lore of the game is so rich, and it never feels like that we are somehow the events that are happening are somehow not connected to the henceforth. Now these are the biggest perks that no game, not most games, not in Assassin's Creed, except for the Ezio trilogy, was managed to pull off, has managed to pull off.
Not bad.
There are so
Not
many
bad.
possibilities in each of the
Though you could stand
each
to
of the
improve some things.
side quests that changes a big chunk of the game that you play.
Man spends his whole life learning.
And
Not a witcher,
since,
unless he doesn't want to
each
live
small
long.
choice matters.
But more on that
There-
later.
There's
Take
a
the
lot
Griffin's
of
head to the Black
replayability
Ones. Already
that
our
comes
horses.
along with it.
Meet me at the inn.
And there are in the small details that maybe you miss, like that dialogue where Geralt offers Ciri that if she should visit the Emperor or not, and it has a
Move
big
it.
impact on the ending. That we'll find out that is, and the things like that, the things where your choices really matter, even the smallest ones. These kind of changes put the life in the world,
Magic.
the lively world,
A place of power.
worth playing in. I mean, it's been so long, and still playing it. It's my fifth or sixth playthrough that I find it exciting to upload on YouTube. Give some of my views about it. Come on, why not?
Not good.
And these signs, I mean, come on, combat. Most of the people who I've seen complaining, whining on YouTube about it's basically depends on yourself. I mean, come on, you can make it as professional as you want. Like if you go on YouTube and watch the best combat videos of the picture fighting uh, all geared on Everick, I mean, you'd say this game has the best combat ever. I mean, come on, it really depends on yourself. If you keep spamming the dive button, you'd say the game is all about diving. If you parry, block, and keep it in check, basically. So it would be a very balanced game in combat for you, very satisfying. Combining with science and alchemy. So that's, I mean, yeah, it's a bit. I mean, it's a bit. How would I say? Criticizable, I would say. A bit, just a bit. But still, it really isn't that bad as people make it out to be. It's actually pretty great. Or as Horse is really not that big of a monster as people think it is. Oh yeah, finally the diagnosis.
Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Okay, so that's it for today. See you in the next video.